Okay, so here's an empty tank. You start, add some gravel. Some sand. I'm trying to not make, a scape, but this is more of like a propagation bin, if you will. More sand. Now you can just add pebbles if you'd like, and then put your weed barrier and soil and you're good to go. I want to do a little bit more just for added health. Add some of this fabric in here. My weed barrier. I'm going to add a little bit of sand to it to help keep it down. And then to hide the front, just throw some sand up front. That way that's all you see. Okay. Then we add our dirt, or potting soil. Ooh, I dropped some. Again, I'm trying to make this nice and flat because it's going to be sitting next to a window and that's going to be its source of light. And I don't want to create valleys or hills or anything like that, so nothing's going to be fully blocked. Okay. Now we're going to add our mosses to it. There's no real rhyme or reason unless you want to disperse them evenly or break them up so other mosses are next to other mosses. It doesn't really matter. Also, the moss isn't a requirement, it's just fun. Now, that doesn't cover it, but I have other mosses that I've accumulated on other ventures that I'm just going to throw in there. These mosses have been under grow light, so they're a little bit greener, a little bit brighter. Obviously, the ones we just collected have been out in the winter weather, or Tennessee winter weather, that is. So, now we have a nice little patchwork of mosses. Now, we're going to put our clippings in from various plants around the house. I like to pull off any bottom stems and just kind of slightly push them in there. If you know what grows taller, you're going to put those towards the back of your tank. And I like to kind of put my crawling ivies and things like that towards the front. I like to trim off a little bit of the bottoms. Again, there is no rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of poking them in where I can get them. I'm not going to really go over what plant is what because everybody has different wants and needs out of their terrarium. Just know if it comes from a tropical climate, it will probably do really well. If it's a succulent or anything like that, I would advise highly against putting them in a tank like this. You'll just kill them and be sad. That one here. I don't know if this little guy is going to make it, but we're going to see what happens. I do like to use the moss to anchor the smaller ones, but the bigger ones I just kind of poke through or on the edge of one. That way it's directly in the soil. There we go. With your bigger plants, you can divide them. You can take clippings, or you can throw the whole plant in. What I like to do is divide them because I like to get as much bang for my buck out of a plant. So I'm going to divide some of these off camera and be right back. Now that we got all the cuttings in there, before we get the larger plants in there, we're going to do a little bit of hardscaping with some of the rocks we found. Again, no real rhyme or reason. They're a little muddy. I can lay some moss on top of them. We do have some already a little bit collected on them, but they're just a quick little add to give some different features. That looks halfway good. Nothing too shabby. And then we'll add our bigger plants. Some ferns. Gonna give it some added shade. Let's go in this back corner. Two little peace lilies. A little bit of pothos. And we'll add favorite. I don't know what it is, but I just love the color. Put that in the middle. Some added pop of color. Make sure everybody's situated and in a happy looking place. One more and we're done. Let's go, this back corner. Now that everybody's in their place, we'll give it a quick mist. Typically you don't want to mist it this much whenever you do open it up, but since it's the first time, I'm trying to make sure all the soil gets nice and wet. That way everything drops down into that bottom rock layer, and when it gets a little dried out, that water will flow to the top. Oh no! Let's not stick to glass today. And then we'll cover it with saran wrap before we get a good lid on it. But saran wrap will work for now. sure that's nice and tight. Clinging to the edges. There you have it. A quick terrarium in a 10-gallon tank. That way, easy way to propagate, and it just looks nice. Have a good day, everyone. All set, ready to go. Kennedy, say hi. Bye, everyone.